Welcome back to Stoic Golden Tribe, a place where men come to build strength, discipline, and clarity in a world that often misunderstands their struggles. Today, we're going to talk about something few men are willing to say out loud. The truth is, most of the battles men fight are invisible. They're not fought on the battlefield or in the gym or in front of a crowd. They're fought in silence, at night, in your own mind. They are the quiet wars of loneliness, the weight of responsibility, the sting of rejection, the crushing force of failure, and the endless demand to always be strong, no matter how much you're hurting inside. These are the silent battles that shape a man. And while the world may never applaud you for fighting them, they can either destroy you or forge you into something greater than you ever imagined. In this video, we're going to uncover these hidden battles step by step. In each chapter, I'll reveal one silent war most men face, break down why it feels so heavy, and most importantly, how to rise above it with strength, courage, and clarity. By the end, you'll not only recognize the battles within yourself, but you'll also carry tools and perspectives to fight them with honor and resilience. So if you've ever felt like no one understands what you're carrying, stay with me. You're not alone. You are part of this tribe. And before we dive in, if you find power in these words, hit like, subscribe to Stoic Golden Tribe, and share this with a man who needs to hear it. Chapter 1. The Battle of Loneliness. Every man knows it, but few admit it. The battle of loneliness. You can be surrounded by people, friends, co-workers, even a partner, and still feel like you're walking through life alone. It's not just about being physically by yourself. It's the silence of carrying burdens no one else seems to notice. It's lying awake at night with questions no one can answer for you. It's feeling unseen even when the world is watching. This is one of the greatest silent battles men face. Society expects you to keep moving, to never show weakness, to man up. So instead of reaching out, you stay silent. You put on the mask, smile when you have to, and keep your pain locked behind closed doors. But here's the truth. Loneliness is not weakness. It's a test. A fire that burns away distractions and forces you to meet the one person you cannot escape, yourself. History has shown us this. Think of Marcus Aurelius, the emperor of Rome. He commanded legions, ruled an empire, and yet in his private writings he admitted his struggles with solitude. Surrounded by power and wealth, he still knew what it felt like to be alone. His solution was not to run from it, but to face it. To use loneliness as a mirror that sharpened his philosophy, his strength, and his clarity. As a man, you must learn this too. Loneliness will visit you, maybe when friends drift away, maybe when love fails, or maybe when life pushes you onto a path no one else understands. Instead of running from that silence, you must embrace it. Here's how you rise above it. Shift your mindset. Loneliness is not a curse, it's a classroom. When you're alone, you gain the space to think, to build, and to strengthen the parts of yourself that constant noise drowns out. Use that time to grow. Build your foundation. Read, write, lift, create. A man who uses solitude as fuel will never be destroyed by it. The time you invest in yourself when no one is watching becomes the power others see when you step into the world. Stop seeking constant validation. The moment you stop begging for attention or chasing approval, you reclaim your strength. A man who is at peace with himself in solitude is a man no storm can shake. The silent battle of loneliness is not about isolation, it's about transformation. Yes, it hurts. Yes, it feels heavy. But loneliness can become your greatest teacher if you dare to face it without fear. So let me ask you, when was the last time you sat in silence without a phone, without distractions, just you and your thoughts? Did you run from it or did you lean into it? Drop your answer in the comments. Because the first step to rising above loneliness is admitting it exists. And once you admit it, you can transform it. Chapter 2. The Battle of Responsibility. If loneliness tests a man's soul, responsibility tests his shoulders. From the moment a boy becomes a man, the world begins to place weight upon him, bills to pay, families to feed, goals to chase, a legacy to build. Society has written it into your DNA. You must provide, you must protect, you must endure. And while there is honor in that, there is also an invisible cost. The silent battle of responsibility is not just about what you carry, it's about how heavy it feels when no one else seems to notice. The truth is, men are often measured by their ability to bear burdens without complaint. When a man succeeds, it's expected. When he fails, it's condemned. This double-edged sword is why responsibility, though noble, can feel crushing. Think about it. How many times have you felt like the weight of the world rests on your shoulders, like if you stumble, everything will collapse? Your family, your career, your dreams. That silent pressure builds inside you, and most men never voice it. They simply carry it, quietly, endlessly. But here's the paradox. While responsibility is heavy, it is also the very thing that gives a man purpose. Without responsibility, you drift. With responsibility, you anchor yourself to meaning. Viktor Frankl, a man who survived the horrors of concentration camps during World War II, wrote that responsibility to something greater than yourself is what keeps a man alive, even in the darkest of nights. Without it, he withers. With it, he endures. So how do you rise above this silent battle of responsibility without letting it break you? 1. Redefine responsibility as privilege. Instead of saying, "I have to do this," learn to say, "I get to do this." Responsibility is not punishment. It's proof that you matter, that others trust you, that life has given you a role to play. A man without responsibility has no purpose. A man with responsibility has direction. 2. Break the weight into pieces. The mountain is too heavy if you try to carry it whole. But step by step, stone by stone, you can move it. Instead of drowning in the endless pressure of everything I must do, break your responsibilities into daily wins. Focus on what can be done today and let tomorrow take care of itself. 3. Set boundaries, even as a provider. One of the most dangerous traps for men is trying to carry everyone's burden. Yes, you're responsible, but you are not a machine. Learn to say no, learn to delegate, learn to recognize that protecting yourself is not selfish, it's necessary. You cannot carry others if you've destroyed your own strength. 4. Seek strength, not escape. Too many men try to run from responsibility through addiction, distraction, or denial. But here's the hard truth. Running only multiplies the weight. Facing it builds you. Train your body, sharpen your mind, grow your skills. Responsibility demands strength, so build the strength to carry it, not the excuses to run from it. History gives us countless examples of men who carried immense responsibility and grew stronger through it. Winston Churchill bore the weight of leading Britain through World War II. He admitted the pressure nearly broke him, but instead of fleeing, he leaned into it, saying, "Responsibility is the price of greatness." That is your reminder. The weight you carry is not punishment. It's proof that greatness is being demanded of you. So the next time you feel crushed under the silent burden of responsibility, remind yourself, this is not here to break me. This is here to build me. And now I want to ask you something. What's the heaviest responsibility you're carrying right now? Drop it in the comments, not as a complaint, but as a declaration. Because a man who speaks his burden aloud begins to master it. The silent battle of responsibility is real, but so is your strength. And in mastering it, you unlock the very foundation of leadership, discipline, and honor. Chapter 3. The Battle of Rejection. Of all the silent battles men fight, rejection is one of the most painful, because it attacks not the body, but the soul. A man can lift weights to strengthen his back. He can train discipline to handle responsibility. But rejection? It cuts into the deepest parts of who you are. It makes you question your worth, your identity, even your future. Rejection comes in many forms. The woman you loved says, I don't feel the same way. The job you worked years to earn turns you away. Friends you trusted choose someone else. Even worse, sometimes rejection comes from the people you believed would never leave you. And in those moments, silence is louder than words. Every man has felt it. That sinking weight in your chest. That voice whispering, "You're not good enough. You don't belong. You will never measure up." And because men are told to be strong and move on, most never process this wound. They bury it, they carry it, and slowly it becomes a shadow that follows them everywhere. But here's the truth. Rejection is not the end of your story. It is the redirection of it. History shows us this over and over again. Think of Thomas Edison, who failed thousands of times before creating the light bulb. He was rejected by investors, mocked by peers, doubted by experts. Or Abraham Lincoln, who lost elections, suffered business failures, endured breakdowns, yet rose to become one of the most remembered leaders in history. Rejection has never been a signal to quit. It is the world's brutal way of asking, how badly do you want this? How strong is your will to continue? But how do you rise above rejection when it feels like it has shattered your identity? Let's break it down. 1. Understand the nature of rejection. Rejection is not always about you. Sometimes it's timing, sometimes it's circumstance, sometimes it's the other person's blindness to your value. When someone rejects you, they are not declaring your worth. They are revealing their limits. Do not confuse someone's inability to see your value with the absence of value itself. 2. Let pain become your teacher, not your master. Yes, rejection hurts. Yes, it burns. But pain is a compass. It points to where you need growth. Instead of asking, "Why me?" ask, "What is this teaching me? Did it reveal a weakness I can strengthen? Did it free me from a path I didn't truly belong on? Did it redirect me towards something greater?" The pain of rejection, when used correctly, becomes a forge that hardens you. 3. Detach your worth from outcomes. Here lies the deadliest trap. Attaching your identity to external validation. If you define yourself by acceptance, every no will destroy you. But if you define yourself by your own discipline, character, and effort, rejection becomes powerless. Remember, a man who knows his worth cannot be shaken by someone else's inability to recognize it. 4. Build inner resilience through action. The cure to rejection is not retreat. It's movement. Train harder, learn more, sharpen your skills. Every rejection leaves you with two choices: to hide in shame or to rise in strength. The men who transform rejection into greatness are those who turn every no into fuel for the next attempt. Let me tell you something powerful. Some of the greatest men in history only became great because they were rejected. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper because he was told he lacked imagination. Imagine if he had quit right there. Rejection wasn't his end, it was his beginning. And so it is with you. The relationship that ended, the job that didn't call back, the opportunity that slipped away. They are not your destruction. They are your redefinition. But here is the key. You must refuse to let rejection make you bitter. Too many men, scarred by rejection, close their hearts, stop trying, and surrender their dreams. That is not strength, that is surrender. True strength is this: to take rejection, bleed if you must, but rise again with more focus, more clarity, and more determination than before. Let me give you a challenge. Think back to the last time you faced rejection. Did it destroy you or did it sharpen you? If it destroyed you, what can you do differently next time? If it sharpened you, how can you use that fire to keep building? Drop your story in the comments. Not as a confession of weakness, but as proof that you are still standing. Because every time you share your battle, another man finds the courage to fight his own. The silent battle of rejection will visit every man. You cannot avoid it, but you can rise above it. And when you do, rejection loses its sting, because you no longer see it as a wound, but as a weapon forged in the fire. Chapter 4. The Battle of Failure. If loneliness tests your soul, responsibility tests your shoulders, and rejection tests your heart, then failure tests your very spirit. This is the silent battle that has broken countless men, not because they were weak, but because they didn't understand what failure really is. Society teaches men to see failure as shame. From childhood, you're told, win or you're worthless, succeed or you don't matter. And so when a man fails, he doesn't just lose the battle in front of him, he often feels like he's lost himself. Failure is brutal. It whispers that you'll never rise again. It tells you your effort was wasted. It makes you want to stop trying altogether. And unlike rejection, which comes from others, failure is a battle within yourself, because deep down you know when you've fallen short. Think about it. The failed business, the dream that never left the ground, the relationship you couldn't save, the goal you abandoned halfway. Each failure feels like a scar carved into your identity. And because men rarely talk about it, the shame grows louder in silence. But here is the truth you must burn into your mind. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is the forge that creates it. Every man you admire has been broken by failure. Michael Jordan, cut from his high school basketball team. Steve Jobs, fired from the very company he built. Nelson Mandela, locked away in prison for 27 years before he became a leader who changed nations. Failure did not destroy them, it refined them, it stripped away weakness, sharpened their vision, and demanded they rise stronger. The difference between men who are destroyed by failure and men who are built by it is simple: perspective. So how do you rise above this silent battle? 1. Redefine what failure means. Failure is not a dead end, it is feedback. It shows you what doesn't work so you can find what does. Every failed attempt is one step closer to mastery. A man who never fails is not strong. He is untested. Strength is earned by falling, learning, and rising. 2. Separate your identity. From the outcome, you failed. But you are not a failure. Read that again. One event, one setback, one mistake does not define who you are. You are not your losses. You are the man who chooses what to do after them. As long as you rise again, you have not failed. You are still in the fight. 3. Turn failure into fuel. Pain without purpose destroys you. Pain with purpose transforms you. When you fail, don't waste that pain. Write down what you learned. Adjust your approach. Channel the fire into your next attempt. Failure, when harnessed, becomes rocket fuel. 4. Embrace the long game. We live in a world of instant gratification, but greatness has always been slow-cooked. Men who achieve lasting success are those who endured years of failure that no one else saw. While others quit, they persisted. Understand this: your story isn't measured by a single defeat, but by the persistence to keep moving forward. Failure is not the enemy. Fear of failure is. When you're afraid to fail, you never take risks, you never build, you never grow. And that, my brother, is a life wasted. Let me tell you something important. The man who avoids failure will live safe, but he will never live strong. The man who embraces failure will live scarred, but he will also live free. So ask yourself right now, what's the failure that still haunts you? The one you keep replaying in your head as if it defines your worth. Write it down. Face it. Then declare this truth. This was not my ending. This was my beginning, because the silent battle of failure isn't about what you lost. It's about what you choose to become after the loss. And once you learn to rise after failure, no storm can stop you. No defeat can define you. You become a man who cannot be broken, only sharpened. That is the warrior's spirit. That is the Stoic path. That is the legacy every man must claim. These are the silent battles men fight: loneliness, responsibility, rejection, and failure. You will face them all. Some of you are fighting them right now. But remember this: silence does not mean weakness. The battles you fight within are the battles that shape your destiny. If you are walking through loneliness, embrace it as your teacher. If responsibility weighs you down, see it as proof of your purpose. If rejection wounds you, let it sharpen you, not shatter you. And if failure breaks you, rise again, because only through falling do men learn how to stand unshakable. You are not alone. Every man who has ever lived with honor has fought these same battles. And now it's your turn. If this video spoke to you, hit like, subscribe to Stoic Golden Tribe, and share it with a man who needs to hear these words. And tell me in the comments, which silent battle are you fighting right now, and how will you rise above it? Remember this, storms will come, but storms also pass. What remains is the man you become through them. So fight your silent battles with courage, carry your scars with pride, and walk forward knowing this truth. You were not built to break, you were built to rise.